So, round 3 is over and we have one last round left. And you may be wondering, what happens in round 4? And why exactly is round 4 so important? And in this video I'm going to explain exactly why round 4 is so important, how to get prepared for it, how you can work as a team better, and just explain how everything's going to work. Before we get started, remember, like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. Also, comment down below if you like the video or not. And I'll see you guys again on Wednesday after this video. So, why exactly is round 4 so important? Before we get to the main topic of the video, I just want to talk about the new tournament modifiers and round types, and exactly how they're going to work. If you're on the Discord server, which by the way is linked down below, you may have noticed that I've added a new, well, it's not a new feature in a way, it's just a new way of informing players of what's happening every tournament, and that's called tournament modifiers and round types. A tournament modifier is basically, it just shapes how the actual full tournament's going to go. For example, in July we had the team managers tournament modifier, which basically changed the entire tournament. But the one we have right now that we always used to have before July is the traditional tournament modifier. And the way the traditional tournament modifier is structured is pretty simple. It's just the same way we basically did most of the Artisium tournament before we had the new ones. So how it goes is round 1, 2, and 3 are basically just solo rounds. Normal solo rounds, you get just solo points. You don't team with anyone, except there may be doubles games, but those are random teams and you don't actually keep your teammates, so it doesn't matter if you get team points or not, because they all add up to solo points anyway. As I said, round 4 is a 4s game. It's basically where I put you into teams of 4, and there are 4 teams. We play some solo games, we play some doubles games, and we play some 4s games. And the way it works is that you're allowed to team with all of your teammates in every single game. So if you're playing TNT tag, you can work with your teammates to get other teams. And rather than getting solo points, you get team points. All players in your team collect points together. They all get added to a total. And then at the end of that round, every single person in the team gets that amount of points. So now that that's out of the way, why exactly is round 4 so important? There are a few reasons for this, I would say. I don't think all players realize exactly how important it is. For them, it might just be, oh, it's the final round. But I'll go through all the simple reasons first, and then I'll dive into why it's even more important than you might think. Of course, round 4 is the final round of the month, which means it's your final chance to get points. So this is your last chance to push yourself up in the leaderboard, try get that top 5. If you can get top 3, then go for top 3. If you can win, try to win, obviously. But also, another important thing is that it's a team effort. So you're actually relying on other people to gain points for you, because if you just play solo, you're just relying on your own skill. If the other team members don't get points for you, then other teams will get more points, and then all the other teams will get more solo points as well. So you'll actually fall behind quite a lot if your team doesn't want to work with you. The biggest point that people don't maybe really notice that much is that you get points for 4 players in one round. You don't just get points for yourself like you would in all the other rounds. You get points that 4 players have earned. In one round, you technically get, mathematically, you would get 4 times as many points as you'd get in round 1, 2, and 3, which means in round 4, you're most likely going to earn more points than you earned in round 1, 2, and 3 added together. It can completely change the leaderboard. And this has actually happened before in the past. I'll show an example of the screen. In May, Lord Skilled was winning the tournament for the whole of the first 3 rounds. He was leading quite a lot for round 1, 2, and 3, and everyone was convinced that he was going to win. Then round 4 came about, and it was crazy because Blue Beast, I've actually got my Blue Beast skin on right now, coincidentally. We practiced so much, and we trained, and we made tactics, whereas the other teams didn't really do that. And because we did that, we earned so many points in that one round that we pushed every single person out of the top 4. All 4 of us managed to get into top 4, and even Basket, who didn't play round 1, 2, and 3, came 4th. He earned enough points in that one round to push Lord Skilled out of the first spot into 5th. That's how important round 4 is. And I know Steelbed is leading by like 250 points, I think. So I do not think that's going to happen this month, but you never know. I don't think Steelbed can be knocked out of top 3 at least. If he even gets knocked out of first, he will most likely still come in top 3rd. So another thing I want to talk about in this video is what can you do as a player to help your team get those points. I think the main thing is get to know your team, make friends with them. It's a lot easier to play with your team when you're friends with them because it doesn't feel forced. You're not playing with strangers, you're playing with friends, so you're having fun. You don't have to force yourself to try. It's a lot easier to try when you're having fun. You're not going to be stressed. I mean, if you lose, it's better to lose happy than sad, I guess. Yeah, get to know your team. Use the team group chats that I create. So if you don't know, I actually create team group chats for every single team where I send a little message to just remind people of what's happening and send the team skins. And then I leave the group chat so you can talk by yourselves without me seeing what you're saying. And that's so important, like use that group chat. I've heard from so many teams in the past that the group chat has like 5 messages and then it goes silent. But it's such a good tool. If you don't use that group chat, how else are you going to communicate? Make tactics. So planning out tactics beforehand is probably the most important thing that can make you win. If your team goes into a game and no one in that team knows what you're doing, or no one knows what the other people are doing in your team, then you're not going to win against a team who has everything planned out. If you're going into a doubles game and you've still not even decided which people are going to be together on doubles and which people are going to get split up because there's 4 of you, then you're not going to have a tactic, and the 2 people that do end up getting put together are not going to know how the other person plays. Another thing is make sure your whole team is on, because obviously if there's 2 of you, you're going to earn, not only are you going to earn less points than someone who has 4 players and earns basically twice as much as points as you, but also you're 2v4ing in every single game. If you know your teammate's not going to be online, and please, if you're not going to be online, let your team know, let me know beforehand, and that's not one day before. Try to do it as soon as you can. If you know your team's not going to be on and I don't know about this, message me, because if you message me 3 days before, I might be able to find a replacement, and that's better than not having a teammate at all. And you know, even if it's not a good player, a meat shield always works, especially in Bed Wars. Okay, final thoughts. If I can just give like final hints and tips for just this next round overall, I would say don't slack. I'm going to be probably making the teams by Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest. Use every single day that you have before the tournament. If you have 3 days, practice for 3 days. If you have a whole week, if I somehow manage to make the teams by tomorrow, use the entire week you have until Saturday to practice. Make sure you have your team skin ready. Do make your team skin, and if you don't know how to, I will put an annotation up on the screen right now, and if it's not there, it's probably going to be in the description. So I did make a video on how to make a team skin, so there's no excuse. If you don't have your team skin, there's not actually a proper punishment. There used to be that you lose 10 points. I ended up removing that rule because I don't want to have to force people to wear a team skin if they don't want to. Obviously it looks really cool when we have team skins, like it just makes it feel so cool how we all have like matching skins with your teammates, but also it's so important for your team to know that you're on the team. If someone's running at you, you're not going to look at the name always, you just attack them. If you're playing a solo game and your teammate is running towards you and they don't have a team skin on, there's a really high chance that you're going to hit them and maybe kill them, especially because they won't attack you back. What else? Oh yeah, team leaders. You have quite an important job. You may not realize that you do, but it is quite important. You have to make sure everyone's online. If your team, like I always DM people anyway before the tournament, but if your teammate's running late, spam them in DMs, call them in DMs, whatever. Make sure that if they're not going to be online, they let you know. Remind them to put the team skin on. Like just remind your teammates all the time. As a team leader, it's your job to remind them of stuff like that, which is why I normally choose players that have played quite a lot so they know what to do. Just a reminder that you can team in every single minigame, you can team in solo, you can team in doubles and in 4s with all your teammates. If I'm on blue team and Mina's on blue team I can team with Mina and TNT tag. That also means murder mystery. A lot of people don't actually know this, but you are allowed to slash message your teammates if you're a murderer or if you're a detective. You are allowed to let them know what role you have. If your teammate is a murderer, and obviously it's murderer double up, so the murderer knows who the other murderer is. If your teammate is a murderer, they are allowed to let you know who the other murderer is. That is allowed. That is not cheated in any way. It's not in the rules, and yeah, that is allowed. Just letting you know. Alright guys, well, thanks for watching. I hope the video is not too long. I'm really not sure how long I was recording for. It was supposed to be like, I hope it's like between 5 and 10 minutes at least. I'll be announcing the teams either tomorrow or on Tuesday, I think. Make sure if you've not signed up for the tournament, do that as soon as you can, so I know if you're playing. If you don't sign up by like Tuesday, I might not put you on the team. You might be put on the team late, which means you have less time to practice. Good luck to everyone on Saturday. I hope you all enjoy the tournament. Hope you all enjoyed the video as well. I think it's pretty good informative video, and it can be used for pretty much any tournament in the future that uses the traditional modifier. Just gonna put that out there for traditional modifier only. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If it was useful, make sure to let me know in the comments. And if you want to have any more informative videos, also let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys on Wednesday with Tommy. Bye guys!